The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Now, Tom O'Brien, Darrell Martin, and Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the March 22nd fantastic Friday edition of the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour with your hosts Darrell Martin and Steve Rhodes. Darrell Martin, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing, man?
I am doing great. And folks, we're grateful for your presence here today, and our outcome is to teach you how to set it and forget it. You know, the most important aspect of trading is capital preservation. That's really the beauty of the Nadex platform, because your trade is your stop. Your risk is just simply your risk. Once you set it, folks, you can forget it. And Nadex, folks, it's a better way to trade. And our man Darrell here, he is going to teach you how. Also, Darrell does a show each day from 1 to 2 p.m. here at TFNN.com. That show is archived on channel. Help me out here, Darrell. What channel is that archived on? Uh-oh. We lost Darrell. How about that? Well, I'm sure we'll be getting Darrell back here in a second, and Tom is going to try to join us. We are going to go ahead and search, see if we can find some trades. Right now, let's take a look at the markets here. We've got the Dow is up 68 points, S&P up about 8, Composite up 13, Russell 2000 lagging out here, up about 0.3%. Under $3. You got the New York Stock Exchange up 0.5%, up 49 points. We've got King Dollar back 14 ticks. Gold off about $6 right now, trading out at 16.08. Silver off 46 cents, out at 28.74. Light sweet crude bouncing. It is up 74 ticks out there. 93.20 is what it's trading at over the across the pond here. Really a flat trading session. Well, a flat trading session over in Germany. The DAX is up 9 points. The FTSE is up a little bit more, up about 0.5%, up 31. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. So let's take a look at some possible trades while we're getting Darrell back on the line out here. And if we take a look, right now we're taking a look at a ultra short-term time frame. I'm looking at the ES Mini. I'm looking at the 10-minute chart out here. 10-minute chart, we're going from the swing point high, most recent swing point high, which is at about the 1555 level. That came in at 250 in the afternoon on March the 20th. So I've gone from that high all the way down to the low that was put in right here at 1:10 a.m. on March the 22nd. So what we can see here, and right now all I'm doing is just simply looking at retracement levels. I am looking at, and looking, again, this is ultra short term because we're using a 10-minute chart. I'm taking a look at the relative strength indicator here. That's what's showing up on the bottom of the screen. I've got volume just below that. So we've got really 4 different tools that we're paying attention to out here. And we're watching for price. Now, in this case here, we can watch how price moved above that 0.382 level. We know that that is a normal move in any kind of retracement out there. That's what, you know, we refer to as that dead cat bounce out here. What we can now see is that you've got, on this 10-minute chart, you've got the ES Mini moved up with some pretty decent volume here in this last 10 minutes. Did it with 72,000 contracts on the ES Mini. We can see we're trading here in the overbought territory. And what we're waiting for is some kind of bullish candle signal. It's going to come either right here around the 0.618 level, or it's going to come at about the 0.786 area. Now, if we try to take a look at A to B equals CD patterns that would be out here, that one, you know, is a little bit more difficult. We would probably look at using the low here of 1:10 a.m. That low was 1535. This was on March. That was this morning at 1:10. Right now, I suppose that I could use right up here at 650 this morning, right at the price level of 1543.75. But there's not really much of a retracement here. So, you know, I'd hesitate to use that as the A to B equals CD. Right now, I'd be more keyed on the the retracement level. So knowing that we are nearing this overbought condition, I don't know if I said oversold before, knowing that we're looking at this overbought condition, what I'm looking for is just see if there is some type of intraday trade that we can take here using the Nadex platform. But you don't want to do, in my opinion, you don't want to necessarily do it right now. You want to wait for a bearish candle to show up. Now, in this case here, if the bears actually showed up right now, they would have to engulf or take over most of this trading session here from the 920 session as we got into it, and it may not actually set up a good ultra short-term trade out here. And the reason is we might be giving away too much. And what I'm referring to is, the pullback. If we see a 0.618 on the way up, you should expect to see a 0.618 retracement on the way down, and so that might not set up. But we'll see what's going on out here. Now, I don't know. Right now, we haven't seen any bears really show up. And what this really says to me is that we should see the ES Mini move up to the 0.786 level out there. Let's go take a look at what that next level is. Price point is about 1551 out there, 1551. So I suspect 1551, 1550 is where the ES Mini wants to travel to. That's only about 3 to 4 points higher out there. Let's go peek in at the currency market. Take a look at some possible currency trades that may be setting up out here. Again, I'm using the 10-minute charts. On the 10-minute chart, taking a look at the euro-US dollar currency pair. We can see here this black. Now, if the 10-minute chart that we're looking at, so the black line going across my screen, when we came in on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, as the market opened, you had the euro gap down. So this little gap that's out here, this is the gap from the euro, from the issues going on over in Cyprus. And so that black area is really the horizontal. You can move this down just a tad or what have you. You can see right now that the euro is getting very close to that area. So it's getting very close to a spot where you would take a look at putting on a trade. Probably taking a look at putting on a trade in both possible directions out here, both the short trade as well as the long trade. Now, on this 10-minute chart, what we are taking a look at is we're taking a look at how price has moved into the overbought territory. Look at the last time that occurred, which was right here, right at about the 620 time frame. Pulls back. Doesn't do much of a retracement. It has to work itself off when you get into that level. In fact, that retracement, probably about a 0.382 retracement. Yeah, about whoops. There goes a move higher out here. So let's go take a look at this retracement in any event. Let's take a look at coming off of the low here. Well, I didn't want to grab that. I wanted to do this here. Excuse me for a second here. Nothing like live and then losing it. So we've got the euro is popping right now. I don't know if there's some news out of Cyprus that Super Mario is saving the planet, but certainly now we're looking also at a 10-minute chart too. But we are seeing the euro right now bust over the highs, and the reason is, so let me just come back here. So as this was moving up, moving into this area, the real point I wanted to make is you don't take a trade. In my opinion, you don't take a trade until you actually see the bears show up here. So at this stage right now, we've got the euro coming in, and we're going to put the resistance line out here, and we're going to move the resistance line back up to the swing point high that so far has been tagged during really since Sunday evening when the currency market opened up. So let's put that as a red line going across the screen, and we'll see if that will hold things in place out here. So that's on the euro. That's a possible trade that is setting up. Let's go take a look at the other currency pairs out here. Let's go take a look at the Japanese yen. So it's in the currency pairs that we're looking for trades. We're looking at a 10-minute chart out here. Inside the Japanese yen, also waiting for the bears to show up. Now, we can see here that in the Japanese yen, it too is moving towards the overbought condition. What I'd really love to see here is a Japanese yen. Let's take a look at let me put on the tool here that measures retracements and expansions, the old Pesavento patterns tool out here. You can see that what the on the 10-minute chart, what the U.S. dollar Japanese yen did is it made a 1.272 expansion. The expansion was of these sets of swing points out here. That's the set of swing points that came in at 2:30 in the morning. The high out there that you'd use is 94.83, all the way down to the low that was put in here at 4:10 this morning, out at 94.18. And so what this did was it made a 1.272 expansion, and the market did what it was supposed to do. It stopped right there just to back off. Right now we can see just on this, again, we're looking at ultra short-term charts here. We're watching this live. We're paying attention to the Fibonacci numbers that we've got on the screen, and it's made a 0.786 retracement as well. It looks to me like, and again, no bears having shown up here, and so there's no reason to hop on this trade just yet. Let's go back over and take a look at that ES Mini. Let's go take a look at as we had that pop going on in the currency market. So now we're taking a look at getting up over that 1547 level. So the next stop about 1550, and that's where I would be looking at a Nadex trade out there. In any event, we'll see if we get Darrell back on the phone here. No, somehow the system is died. Okay, so we won't do that. Let's just go start taking a look at some charts out here. Let's go look at. Let's go over and take a look at the ETFs. Then let's go into the diamonds, the SPYs, the Qs, and see what we have out here. Nothing like a live radio, folks, because we're just going to switch things up just a tad. So now let's come take a look at the daily charts out here inside the SPYs. Let's go take a look at right now trading out 152.25 out here. I don't have the numbers on my screen here. Let's take a look at, let's go ahead and draw the patterns in. We'll go ahead and draw the 1.618 butterfly. That's coming off of the September 14th high down to the low here on November 19th. What we can see here inside the SPYs, we can see a 1.618 butterfly. So that pattern is still in place here. If we take a look at yesterday's move to the downside was with 128 million shares. Let's blow this up a bit. What the SPYs have not done yet is they have not taken out the low of support. That low that we're using is the gap up from March the 5th. Let's put that as a red line across the screen here. And that's a key trading session here. March the 5th, that low 154.16. It's only been down, the SPYs have only been down there once, even though you had the SPYs moving down yesterday. You had the SPYs moving, not yesterday, on March the 19th, 167 million shares to the downside. And then yesterday with that move lower, 128 million shares. So not even enough volume here to break to the downside, but that is a level of support. Hey, let's go out to Costa Rica to our man K. Rico. K. Rico, how you doing?
I just had to call and say hello.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hadn't heard. I was just thinking about you this morning. Said haven't heard from K. Rico in a while. Was wondering if you were what part of the country or the world you were in.
Yeah, right now I'm. I just can only say in Costa Rica, but I've had a whirlwind of action, and I can say something in about 10 days about a bad guy that's been captured and taken off the radar screen for now.
Really? Okay. Yeah. All right. You're safe though, right?
I'm not sure, but I'm doing my best to watch my back as I always do.
Hey, well, come on, come on back to the States here.
Well, I actually got an R&R set up for soon, but I'm not quitting my job for any matters of I'm worried or anything. I just got to follow through with my responsibility.
I got it. All right. So are you doing any trading?
Actually, I'm doing cliff diving trading with the VXX only.
Oh, you are? Oh, you are doing it. K. Rico, stay on the line. We're going to go out to a break. Right now, we've got the Dow up 83, S&P up 9, Composite up 15. We'll be right back, folks.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Right now, you get the Dow up 79, Nasdaq's up 15, S&Ps are up 9. We get gold down 4, and volatility, man, is going to be in spades all day long, folks.
And we got Volatility Man on the line.
And we got K-Rico.
As soon as Tom heard you on the line, he came in here.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing great, man. And, you know, what is wild is this, is that, so what you have going on here, folks, you picture it's 10:30 Eastern, about 10:20 Eastern Standard Time. What you're going to have, the European markets will close at 11:30. They have to figure out a deal before Monday morning.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge poker game. And the poker game goes like this, folks. The poker game is that the 17 finance ministers are saying, if you don't come up with something Monday morning, we're not going to give you any funding, so all the banks will be out of business. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And the government's saying, well, you know, we're trying to come up with something. So it's the close of today, folks, is going to be about as volatile as you've ever seen it. You know, meaning people are going to go into the weekend with or without positions.
Yeah.
And the risk is going to be extraordinary. There's no doubt about it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's been happening, K-Rico?
Well, I was telling Steve that the only thing I trade, because it's so volatile and because of my schedule where I'm not always able to be, well, I got to work, but I like action. And the DXX this last 6 weeks has been so full of action I mean, like today, it's only down 31 cents and change right now, and the markets are really much higher. The markets are up pretty good. My point is, this is showing me the volatility is going to come, just like you said, and this thing is not giving up any pennies today, and I think by the end of the day, this thing could be at $21 by 4 o'clock, but
well, the VXX, folks, that's the short-term futures ETN of the volatility index. And, there's no doubt that 31 cents is nothing in the VXX. I mean, if volatility, well, first off, volatility is already here. I mean, and it's all about the currencies, of course. I heard the euro just spiked. The euro has been spiking, period. But bottom line is that just wait a few more minutes and you'll see it spike both ways. So it's right at a spot, though, that's been going down for so long. You can see this should be a counter-trend bounce.
Yeah.
The reality is going to be, okay, are they going to be able to handle it? Or is it Cyprus gone? And see, the thing that is really cool, I think is really cool about this one is that everyone says it's not going to affect anything. Well, folks, let me tell you something, right? So picture, just the common sense part of it. Every single time you keep hearing that the banking structure is whether it's 9 times or 21 times the GDP.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, folks? That structure has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So that means that where's it coming from? It's coming from Greece, and it's coming from Russia. It's coming from the European Union.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those people are going to get toasted and roasted. And so as those people get toasted and roasted, it's like, okay, what do they own? Where's the liquidity going to come from? So.
I mean, it's a big grab of assets. So at this stage here, they're instead of nationalizing some asset, the nationalized asset is your savings account.
Oh no, totally.
Totally. Talk about the big grab.
We're never supposed to say, you never can say never, but could it happen in this country? Could the same thing happen? Who knows? It could. You can't say never. Who knows?
I can say never. I can say never right now. That's not even close, Carrico.
But
the difference is not even close.
I mean, with the way they're treating the people, hanging them out to dry like this, and the whole,
don't even go. It's not even close, man. Let me tell you, the easiest way to look at the world. Okay, this is. It's not even close, man.
Okay, I got a question for you, Tom. You always talk about your 4 agreements, and I've been wondering this for years. You've had 4 agreements I've been listening to you off and on since 1999.
Yeah, I've had them for a long time.
Those 4 agreements, they just keep coming out of the woodwork.
Well, they're mostly the same cards. You know what I did, folks? It's funny. I bought another deck of cards of another 4 agreements, but I don't like the new ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're
just not the same. It's like they're just not the same.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're good, but they just don't do the same thing. So.
There's a stack of about 30 cards at least, 30 to 40 cards, but some of them find their way up to the. No matter how you cut the deck, they'll pop up.
They always do, man. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
It's just when you say this is one of our 4 agreements, it's like, wait a minute. This is one of our 4. There's only 4. I guess I would think you'd be saying this is one of our 1,000,000 agreements.
That's a fact. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, appreciate you growling and prowling with us, folks. You stay right there. We had the Dow up 82, Nasdaq up 14, S&P's up 10. And folks, if you haven't test drove the Nadex platform, come over to our website at TFNN.com. You can hit that Nadex banner, and if you happen to be in the New England area, we're going to be coming up there next month. We're going to be right back.
Yeah.
Just recently, on December 28th, Market Insight subscribers were advised to go long the QQQ, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, on December 28th at $63.91. And only 2 trading days later, after a huge jump in the markets, Market Insight subscribers were advised to sell the QQQ at $66.64 for a $2.73 or 4.27% profit to start off 2013. At the same time, Tom O'Brien had advised his clients looking for a more leveraged trade that they could have initiated a position in the QLD, the ProShares Ultra QQQ ETF, and over the same 2 trading days, Market Insight subscribers were able to lock in a $4.48 profit or an 8.47% gain in just 1 trade. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during your free trial and pay nothing. Don't miss out on the next great trading opportunity in 2013. Act today. Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. And, folks, if you haven't test drove the Nadex platform yet, come over to our website at TFNN.com. You're going to see the banner on the top, on the side. You can test drive it. You can open up an account right here, right now. They'll put $25,000 of funny money in it. If you like to open a real account, put $100, $200 in it. And if you happen to be in the New England area, Darrell and I are going to be up there at the beginning of May. We're going to have that up on the website coming this week. Darrell Martin, what's going on, brother? Oh, he was there, but he's gone. That's all right. So, you know, this euro, the euro's the trade, folks. The euro's the trade. Shot the euro. That's euro's the trade, man. if you're on the Nadex, hey, what's going on, brother? There we go. Well, that's when we're having some communication problems out of beautiful Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. No problem.
I wonder if, hey, you know what's amazing? So think of what we're talking about, folks, is that as we come into the close out here, well, it's going to be all day. It's going to be 11:30, number one, because 11:30 their markets close. You know, so what you absolutely have here is that as you get 11:30, and then I suspect 2:15 our time. Yeah. There's going to be some real volatility because it's going to be the movements, folks, inside the currency markets. That, you know, because if
I suppose one side of the ECB, you got to assume that Super Mario is out here keeping the euro up.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's been traveling in a relatively tight trading range.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Since Sunday evening.
129.00. That's right. 128.88. It went down to what 3 o'clock in the morning 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
We're 129.88 right now, so it's moved a point. And it's basically fluctuated. But
I suppose the only thing that you can that has any kind of logic to it with regard to the action that they took, because it was we were talking during the break, it's only $5 billion.
5.4.
Which is $7 billion U.S.
They got to come up with $5.4 billion, and they can't. That's what's sick, actually.
Yeah. But and taking this kind of action where you're now signaling to folks that, look, if banks get in trouble and you have more deposited, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether there's insurance or not, or whatever we might access your cash.
No, that's the biggest issue, I'd say. That's right. And what Steve's saying, folks, there's no doubt, this is the biggest issue. The way that, so in the United States, we have $250,000 that's guaranteed. Over that, you're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And Europe, they have $100,000. If you're in the European Union, what the rule of law is that 100,000 euros is supposed to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they just broke.
Yes.
So it just shows, hey, you broke the trust. And the deal is with banks, folks, it's just a trust, because the bottom line is that, they never have the money. They basically, lend out, they borrow short term and they lend out long term. So if you have, that's just how the fractional banking system goes. The money's never there.
Yeah. And so they're trying to use as a shield here, right? That it's all this big Russian mobster money that's over there.
And that's a good point.
So that's a good point. That's the shield, so that people won't think that it could happen to them in other countries.
I think that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. There's no doubt.
They did the same thing in the United States back in 2008 and 9 that they lowered the FDIC guarantee. I thought I remember 250 went to 100,000 for a short period.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Yeah.
It went up if it did anything. Hey, Darrell, what's going on?
Hey, man, this is crazy going on with all this stuff with the ECB right now. So I think they're going to have the banks closed indefinitely. I don't know.
No, listen, man. That is on the table. Bottom line is that they'll close at least a couple of them. I suspect that's on the table in a big way. And it's a huge poker game, folks, because if they do not come up with something. You got the ECB basically backed against the corner, meaning that they said, okay, you either come up with it, or you're not going to get it.
Are they going to blink?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, the blinking's going to get done. It's just a matter of who is going to basically fold first.
How much long-term damage are they going to do to anybody's trust in the process? So.
Yeah.
Well, there's already been a lot of damage. I mean, you have to assume that you've got people that most people operate with cards,
right?
Whether debit cards, credit cards, or what have you. And you've gotten used to it, you've gotten accustomed to it. It's the way that that's the system that we're moving to, a cashless society.
Right.
And then all of a sudden something like this happens, and it's like, oh my goodness. Now, how do businesses replenish their inventories? I mean, you've got to have some real trust going on between, business owners and their suppliers, and then, I can imagine that commerce is not exactly smooth over there.
No, not even close. And folks,
as those things open, would you want to leave your money in there again?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave my money anywhere.
Yeah. So I can see where there's demand for euros in order to be able to get the money into the bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that demand for euros is going to go. The supply, as soon as the banks open up, that supply is that's where the
it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And if you're out in that Nadex platform, folks, my take on this is that the trade out here is that you pull the button on shotting that euro, because the bottom line is that, as Darrell and I and Steve say many times, your trade is your stop. And when you get an expansion like that, like we just did, we just got to 130.02. The bottom line, as Darrell does many times, going on both sides, which is a good trade. That would have been a great trade basically 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Because the volatility is going to be there.
I don't know if you know this, but they just Nadex just expanded their Forex.
Yes.
That opens at 6 o'clock on Sunday. Instead of 3 a.m. on Monday, it opens at 6 on Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what's so important about that, folks, is that at 3 o'clock, so 6 o'clock Sunday, because it starts moving at 3 o'clock. Right. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you got big action.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock the other night, it was 3:08, I think, because
Well, 3 o'clock's when you've got London coming online.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're coming online, and that's they got the big bankers.
So now they started it out before that you can get in and start placing positions before that market even opens up, which is great.
Yeah,
that's huge. There's no doubt about it, man. And Darrell and I are going to be coming up to New England, folks, at the beginning of May.
It's good that you're waiting until May.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe it'll stop snowing.
It's still snowing up. Hey, Darrell, it's still snowing in Boston right now. Isn't that sick?
Man, no, I'm from Texas. We don't take that snow.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You know, if we go over, we take a look at the gold market too, folks. Okay, so what you have happening with gold out here is this. First off, Fridays, basically are a little bit dicey in the gold market. But the way it's pulling back right now is pretty neat. There's only 77,000 contracts, and, that is a good pullback, meaning you get light pullback coming into it. You don't want to see it expand at all. We've done 2 tests down there, and, we'll see if, in fact, that baby can hold,
Yeah, and if it can hold, it still has a couple different resistance levels that it's going to, there's got several that are going to be really key to watch. But I say just simply using just the descending trend line, is really the first area, which isn't that much higher. It's probably in about the 1640, 1650 level, something 1640 probably. So, then that trend line has held for whatever reason since the last October. So we'll see.
It's wild. Can you put a line, an angle line from the bottom up, too?
From the bottom,
right there.
From here?
No, just from the very bottom, right there. No, right, going up that way. So make an angle.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Because watch this, folks. This gets interesting. Oh man, this means that we get a long way. So, what Steve just did, if you're watching Tiger TV, folks, okay, he put a triangle on it, right? And let me tell you something. We're only halfway on that triangle. And that's a bummer, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, it is, because if you break topside, it's a false break.
Yeah.
Folks, what happens is this. If you break out of a triangle and you're way, we're not even halfway into that yet, whatever way you break, it goes the other way most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
I think really at the top of that trend line, that's where we're going to really.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Going to have to put that turbulence sign on.
Yeah, turbulence. Turbulence is the name of the game.
Yeah. Now, figure it's interesting when you take a look at the actual metals market, especially silver, because silver really hasn't moved much at all. I mean, it is really, talk about small-bodied candles, with the exception of really the last 2 days, just a number of no movement whatsoever. Still just traveling inside the body of this candle from February 20th. Now, I would have thought, wouldn't it be great to have all kinds of gold and silver over in Cyprus?
Yes.
I mean, you can talk about getting premiums.
People.
Well, if they had any cash to buy it from you.
Well, you had to have the cash prior to it. They see they could have used all their Euro funny money, just like we can use our funny money.
Yeah.
I'll bet, I would think over there's going to be pretty decent demand for some metals.
Yeah.
Oh, whenever they open the banks back up.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like today, they probably don't have enough cash to come buy it from you.
Yeah, it's there's no doubt that if you didn't have it, you're basically in trouble. You know what is interesting, folks, and I know you may have heard me say this before. Do you remember, 2 or 3 years ago, I used to get a lot of calls on the air saying, well, the dollar and gold can move. And I said,
yes,
no,
it
can't happen.
Yeah. Thanks to the European Union, it absolutely can't happen. Because you're always wondering, what's the catalyst?
What would be the catalyst?
What would be the catalyst that could make those things move in harmony?
And I
think that's it. Right?
I do too. I think that you can see both. Now, what will end up happening, you'd get slower movement, but what you'd have is this. The dollar's moving because the world wants dollars, because they know that the government stands behind the dollar, and that's it. You might be worth more or less, but you know what? You're not going to get your dollar stolen.
And everybody knows you can use it everywhere, because all the shop owners, all the shop owners in Cyprus, they'll take dollars. And not just now. They would have taken dollars 2 months ago.
And you're not going to get it stolen.
Yeah.
So even in the countries, so watch, what I mean by this, even in the countries that you don't supposed to have dollars, like right now, like Argentina and Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
Well, they got them under their mattress. They got them everywhere.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a game between the citizens and the governments, okay? But bottom line, our government's not going to go steal it off them, okay? Gold is going to basically secure the asset value, period, no matter where you are.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I can actually see how that can happen. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, and the way that you'll get that confirmation, if that's what's going to happen, folks, is that gold is going to have a huge expansion, you know, as the dollar comes into this 84.25. This 84.25 is going to be a trip on the dollar.
Yeah. What's I don't have it on this screen here, but what was more interesting is, you know, take a look at that CFTC commitment of traders data that gets released every Friday afternoon.
Right.
Usually I don't pay attention. I don't work on it until the weekend or something like that. And over the course of the last month, maybe 5-6 weeks, the large commercials, the big money players out there, they have been building, you know, their positions. You can watch it happen. You can, because you've got the numbers. It's right there.
Right.
You know, just like on candlestick chart, and you can't actually hide. And, you know, as gold was pushing down, they were getting out of their short positions and moving to more of a net long position out there. And even though it was opposite of maybe what we were looking at on the charts, when the whole Cyprus thing went down, I was like, son of a gun. You know, you know, it was as if they knew what was going to be taking place. Yeah,
I guess where the problem I see, what I think should have happened is that gold should have went a lot higher on Cyprus still.
Yeah.
That's a heads up. It's like, okay, man, what's going on here? But that's deviant enough. You know, the market's deviant, so it's like, okay, hold it. It certainly didn't come into lows with volume.
That's right.
It tested the lows, had lighter volume. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's going to be, if we just go over to the S&P for a second today, folks, and take a look at the cash S&P. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter. You see, what you have here is this. This is a counter-trend bounce with lighter volume.
Yeah, and really light volume.
This is where the deviance is just dynamite. So right now, another trade out there, bottom line, would be selling the S&Ps. Because watching a 10-minute, what we're doing, folks, this is as good as you get. We're coming into a 9.3 million bar, and you're coming into it with 1.5, and we have, let's see. So
1048.
The first one we came in with 4 million into 9. The second one we're coming in with 1.7. So this is the test of the first test, and the volume is dying on the vine there too. So it's a sweet little deal, and you got the indices up. You know, so it's what's interesting, Darrell, is that being at these high swing points, the Nadex platform is just amazing because you don't need to basically give it any big price spreads in order to put these positions on.
Right. Yeah, you don't take on some massive risk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's like, don't catch the falling knife. Well, you don't have to worry about catching a falling knife with Nadex. If it's falling down, because you have a capped risk. So if you want to go in and you want to fade, and volume's telling you to do that, you can go in with confidence in that trade. I mean, not that you think you're necessarily always going to,
No, I'm with you.
But you're not worried about, I buy into this thing, and all of a sudden it goes like 12 points against me,
Exactly. The risk versus the reward is there. And folks, if you are trading on the Nadex platform, I know you're going to first want to just do the binaries on there, but go into the spreads. Okay, the spreads where it's at, and what it's all about is that instead of just a flat yes or no, what you have with the spread, of course. Look at that euro. If you just did that euro, folks, you just made 47. You just made $2,000. The euro just went from. I love it, man. Real, oh baby. You stay right there. Crash. Steve Rhodes, Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. We're coming right back, folks.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Let me tell you something, folks. I had people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. John Martin, Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us. And, folks, don't forget, of course, Darrell has his own program each and every trading day. You got 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. Anything and everything you want to know about how to trade that Nadex product, he's extraordinary in. And bottom line is, we're going to have some, we've already had some fun out here today, but it's going to be a heck of a day, man, because the volatility is in spades. And it's going to be about the currencies.
Yes.
You know, hey, Darrell, Steve and I were just talking, and Steve brought up a great point, because what you have out here, too, folks, and this is where the what you want to put together is that, you get the Cyprus deal. We're talking about the currencies, but the bigger issue to cement that where this baby wants to go right now is how FedEx traded, is how Cisco traded, is how Oracle traded. And, folks, they all came down off the highs with monster volume. Okay?
Yeah. And then we were talking about, in Oracle and in FedEx. It's the first time I've got the weekly charts up on my screen here. And it's the first time where on the weekly basis you see volume off of the highs.
Yeah.
And,
and that's the death keel.
Boom. Yeah. More to follow.
Yeah, volume off a high, folks. Let me tell you something. If I'm sure many of you have actually seen it because you've been listening a long time, but I remember GE, $90 volume off a high, out of business, period. I mean, it doesn't mean they go out of business with volume off a high. What it does mean, however, is that the correction or pullback is much larger than you ever expect. That's what it comes down to. So,
yeah.
Right.
Pretty amazing, man. This is going to be...
It's going to be a fun week coming up, too.
Well, you know what's so cool? There's no doubt. If you haven't tried the Nadex product, folks, get over, try it out, because what you're going to see is this. Two different things end up happening, folks. In a high volatile market, it actually is a trader's paradise. You know, you do have to get used to it, but make sure that you always know what the parameters are. But that is when there's an extraordinary amount of trades available.
Yes. And
the way that TFNN is set up, we have all technicians, and what ends up happening, folks, is that you can take whatever system you want. And the key in all of these is just keep the money management in place. But I can tell you, when numbers hit, they hit one after the other after the other. And I don't know quite why. Yeah. But when they start hitting, man, forget it. And this is the time you don't sleep. That's how I know at 3 o'clock in the morning what's going on.
That's right.
But you know what? Check this out, folks. You know what's so weird? So check this out. This is amazing. Just in life in general. You go. Well, I'm doing the real estate.
Yes.
We're doing this. We're doing all of it. But I'm telling you, even at night, I have so much. I'm
much energy,
and feeling good. Hey, do you know what I mean? I go to sleep. Have a good sleep. But then 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I say, okay, let's go Euro.
That's right.
Let's fill up the coffers.
now the trade that's really setting up here, or appears to be setting up now. The yen has been so strong. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what it has done here recently, it's set up 2 Gartley sell patterns.
Oh, really?
And now what it's doing is setting up the third one. So I've got the 30-minute chart up here.
Okay.
And what I've drawn in here,
Japanese.
That's right. Now what I've done, folks, is I've drawn in the A to B equals CD ahead of time. So we've had the A to B leg. Now we're starting to see it pull back. Now normal 0.618 pullback probably takes it right around. I don't have the price here, but it's going to set up. It should be setting up another Gartley sell pattern out here. And that Gartley sell pattern, we'll just do it from it's either going to be a 0.618 or a 0.786 Gartley sell, which will take it right at either about the $95.38 level or $95.70. So it has made 2 in a row. And, you're talking about when numbers start hitting, when patterns start hitting.
Right.
And that's really what you're looking for, is to recognize that. So check that out Sunday night on the Nadex platform, folks.
Beautiful. You stay right there, folks. We get our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, coming up next. And then we get Paige Clark. Nico. Hey, send some good white out for Nico. Nico is out in L.A. He's in the Jiu-Jitsu Championships.
Oh, perfect.
The Pan American Games this weekend.
I love it.
Darrell, have a great one. Safe one. And don't forget, Darrell's at 1 o'clock. And, of course, Steve kicks us off every day. Have a great one, folks.